Wondra, 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 Wondra. Good evening, everyone. Very nice to see you tonight. Thank you very much for coming to that Joya-e New Year Eve service today and OCBC and Vista Temple Joya-e です。今日は本当に12月31日 December 31 last service. It means a lot. So Rev Turner and I are very happy and welcome all of you to this special service. This service is as a Buddhist, we reflect 2021 all year and then think about next year, your wish and aspiration for next year. So before the service starts, I'd like to thank a lot of people. First of all, we didn't have a mochizuki this year, but however, we are lucky the Mr. Ito family donated that okasane, omochi. So mochi, you can see omochi as Amida Buddha and Shinan Shonin and Myono Shonin. And then also, did you realize the beautiful flowers? We have a very nice flower team as Janet Takahara, Janet Arima, and then Karen Nakagiri and I worked on. This time mostly 3 ladies worked on it and they donated pine tree, matsu, and so beautiful. This is kind of tradition. We use a matsu pine tree for this new year flower for the Buddha, and then white kiku, chrysanthemum in yellow, and then little berries in there. So take a look at it, please. And then I want to thank you to AV people, Glenn and Ron tonight. Thank you for your effort and coming and help us and then videotaping us. Thank you very much. So I'd like to explain a little bit about this service order. We're going to chant a Jusege today. Jusege, we might see on a screen. Otherwise, you can take a look at that service book in front of you. And then I'll give a Japanese message. I know a lot of people don't understand Japanese, but I prepared the English translation on screen. So please take a look at it. And I'll make the Japanese message short because I went through some English translation in there too. And then Rev Turner will give you a Dharma message. After we're all done, I know why you came today to gong the bell, right? So if you haven't done offering the incense yet, please come forward. Make sure you have a physical distance together, and then go that direction, and then Nancy Hara will guide you, and come behind the Naijin, and then hit the bell with a mallet, and then going through and exit out to the parking lot. Okay? All right? So before start, please join me, Gasho, please. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Butsu Namanda, Butsu Namanda, Butsu Namanda, Butsu Namanda. Ga
妙正長寺法苦行未所門政府上昇が利欲人少年上映主凡行しぐむ浄土一生天人し人力縁大公不詳無才道少女三苦名交際集約難回避地営言滅死根も案閉塞小悪道通断前主門高僧上満蔵いよろじぽ日願修十期天候音符言一種解放像公正苦毒法上大集中説法ししく空用一切物具足習得本元年心上満得意三害を女分無下地通断未不詳願学営力投資最小損志願若効果大戦王感動国小天人とうち妙見ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にしくどく平等性
Thank you very much for chanting the Jusei together. It's very smoothing, wonderful night. It has been so cold. We had a wonderful, well, too much rain a little bit. But after rain, the weather is so crispy and very nice. I really appreciate the weather, and I really appreciate everyone who did a wonderful job and great support, OCBC and Vista Temple. Thank you very much. So, I'm supposed to speak Japanese, so I'm going to change my language. Otherwise, you can see the translation. Maybe the little letters are too small, but sorry about that. So, I'll speak Japanese. So, 皆様、2021年の除夜へにようこそお参りいただきましてありがとうございます。2021年もですね、2020年と同じようにですね、やはりコロナに翻弄されてしまいました。しかし、ありがたいことにですね、日曜礼拝とか、またお葬儀とか法事とかですね、またお勉強会もこうやってずっと継続できたということを本当に、私嬉しく思っております。本当に皆様方からのご協力、ご支援、心から感謝申し上げます。ありがとうございます。このところオミクロンというイシュがですね、流行しておりますので、油断は許せませんけれども、どうかお大事にですね、年始を、良いお年をお迎えくださいませ。ということで、今日は除夜会と申します。で、除夜会っていうのはですね、12月31日の最後にございますですよね。で、とてもね、大事な法要でございますね。This is Joy. I'm talking about Joy. What the Joy is. So I'm going to talk about each letter and explanation. So today my theme is why we hit a 干渉why hit the bell そして、愚の心はね、マンキーマインドというのを少しお話ししたいと思います。で、まずはですね、除夜会っていうのはどういう意味かなと仏教的にね、This screen shows what the 除夜会 is. So, 除っていうのはこういう除くなんですね。Letter 除 除 is a 音読み、a Chinese way to read 漢字。There's two ways, 音読み、音 reading, and 訓読み reading, 訓 reading. 音 reading the Chinese way.And then kun reading Japanese way, each letter has. So, 除は、除、あるいは除く。And then meaning illuminate, get rid of it. ね、除くという意味ですね。そして、夜っていうのは夜、night. And then it, あるいは会は gathering. 皆さん集うということです。ですから今日は皆さんなんか集って何かを除くというね。これが仏教の意味です。So, Joy is we gather to illuminate something at the night today, December 31, the end of this year. So, 何を除くんでしょうかね。What do you think will get rid of it? We try by hitting the gong. ね、このいわゆる鐘を叩くことによって何かを私たちは除いていくわけです。でね、このガーンってね、スクリーン分かるとガーンって言うと今日しますよ、ガーン。で、それで、例えばね、欲の心、そして怒りの心、それからグッというね、心があるんです。So, by hitting the gong, you get rid of your mind of greed, greed mind, or mind of anger, angry mind, or this one is gu mind, this letter gu is sort of like a stupidity or ignorance. You know, it's just like a mind of saying the monku all the time. That's what it is. So we'll get rid of those three minds today. こういうふうなね、除夜の鐘を叩くことによってね、1年間ずっとね、何回遅れました何回、欲を感じました、何回煩悩的な行動をしたでしょうか。そういうことなんですね。ですから、how many times you got mad this year? How many times you got, have a greedy mind? It's supposed to be, we hit the gong, 108, 108叩くんですけれども、私は108以上この心を私は持ったと思います。Probably I had more than 108 times having that anger mind and angry mind, greedy mind, ignorant mind. So 今日はこの鐘を叩くことによって心をきれいにしましょうということですね。We try to clean up your mind by hitting the bell. さあ、それでね、ここでグッというね、これ、グのね、ちょっと説明をさせていただきます。I will explain グ。これは、グは愚かということです。means stupid or ignorant or we don't have a wisdom ということです。このグというね、漢字はね。で、この漢字っていうのは、日本語の漢字というのはですね、象形文字といいまして、いわゆるピクチャーなんですね。いわゆる上の部分と下の部分に分かれております。で、この上の部分がですね、どうもお猿さん、猿なんです。このグというのは。そして下のは心ですから、いわゆる心臓とか心という意味があります。Somebody is explaining that letter Gu means stupidity or blind passion or ignorant. I'm not talking about IQ. We just don't have a wisdom. So this letter Gu consists of upper part and down part. Is a difficult word is hieroglyphic, sort of like a character, and then showing that kind of picture. So picture is the upper part is Gu is a monkey picture, and then down there is a heart or mind. So that means sort of something about the monkey this letter shows. このグというのはやっぱりなんていうのかな、お猿さんの心みたいなね。グ means mind of monkey. So it's interesting. So ね、私の肩なんか、私の頭の中にですね、いっぱいお猿さんがいるわけです。お猿さんがあっち行ったりこっち行ったりね、私の心は静かではないわけですね。そうすることによって心が揺らいで、心が落ち着かない、煩悩がこう燃えていく。それがね、お猿さんの心、いわゆる、心縁とも言います。心の猿といって心縁とも言います。これをね、英語ではね、monkey mind というのです。I'm talking about the Gu means monkey mind. What it is, monkey mind is a Buddhist term, very famous term that refers to a mind that is restless and agitated and confused and all that is hard to control. You cannot control your monkeys. I don't know how many monkeys you have on your shoulder. わからないでしょ? Many monkeys zooming around. So your minds come here and there and there and here. ね、心が定まらない。ね。So 私たちはこの背負ってるお猿さんをね、こううまくこう指導していくというかガイドしなきゃダメなんですね。So along with the Buddha Dharma, you listen to it, you are gradually get trained and you know how to tame those monkeys on your shoulders. So you need to tame this monkey mind. そう言います。ですからこのグッというのはお猿さんがいろんなところに私の肩に乗ったり頭の上に乗ったり、それで私はこうコンフューズしたり ね、いろんなものにの正しい判断ができなくなるわけですね。これを愚と言います。So you just remember that 愚 is the mind of ignorance, is the mind of monkeys, monkey mind. そういうわけです。ですから今日夜ですね、こうやって除夜の鐘を叩くことによってたくさんお猿さんがいるけれども、それをきれいにする、それもありますね。だから by hitting the bell today, you just to get rid of your monkeys sitting on your shoulder, or it comes back maybe. I'm sure it comes back to your shoulder. That's okay. Even we clean up everything, it comes back. ね、いくら今日の除夜の鐘できれいに心をしたとしてもですね、こういうお猿さんがまた戻ってきたり、あるいは怒りの心やあるいは欲の心が戻ってまいります。これ仕方がありません、人間で限り。大丈夫なんです、それで。だから私たちは阿弥陀如来様の救いがあるわけです。ね。It's okay. Even that mind of anger comes back to you, or greedy mind comes back to you, or even a couple monkeys come back to you. That's okay. You can deal with it. That's why we have Amida Buddha's calling to us. Namo Amida Butsu. When you hear Namo Amida Butsu, you can realize, oh, my monkey is jumping around. ね、そうでしょ。だから、お名号を聞くことによって、私の心がまたこんなになんかジャンプしてるわ。なんかまたお猿さんが肩の上に乗っちゃってる。ね。また怒ってる。また欲が出てる。無明だな。っていうふうにね、気づかせていただくのがね、これが浄土真宗のお実りなんですね。だから帰ってきても大丈夫です。ね。そういうことでですね、今日はこの後ですね、皆様方にこのベルを後ろのね鐘ねを叩いていただいて、心を一応きれいにしていただいてね、明日 January 1, 2022です始まりますので、新しい1年を過ごしていただきたく思いますね。そういうことで新しい年2022年ということでですね、それを迎えるにあたりまして、やっぱり心の平安といいますとかね、ずっとそのコロナの厳しい状況が続いております。大変ね、皆様方の心も落ち着かない心配ということがあろうかと思いますけれども、心が静かになって、そして心身がバランスを取るということがですね、とても大事と思います。で、どんなことがあってもですね、やっぱりパニックにならないようにですね、でそのためにやはり適度のね、やはりあまりリラックスするのもダメですよ。でもやっぱり適度の気づきということを持ちながらですね、お念仏の中で、そして健康で明るいお正月をお迎えくださればと私は願っております。ということでね、we intend to cultivate equanimity and balance in 2022, not to panic when things appear to be off track, but not to relax when everything seems to be going smoothly. We intend to cultivate awareness and presence and not focus too hard on outcome, paying more attention to the process and developing understanding and sympathy for myself, yourself, and others. That's my wish. So, almost there. 2022 is coming. So, Happy New Year to you. どうかいいお年をお迎えください。来年は、明日からは寅年です。Year of Tiger です。ねえ。タイガー生まれの人おられますでしょ。ですからタイガーさんっていうのはとても力強くて勇敢なんですね。ですから皆様が来年もですね、来年という年が力強く、そして私たちが思いやりを持ってですね、仏様の深いその願いの中で幸せに暮らしていくことを私は本当に心から念じておりますね。 next year is Year of Tiger. I don't know how many people are born in Year of Tiger, but Tiger represents strength and bravery, right? And I hope all that OCBC and Vista and Sangha members and everybody stay safe and well and happy in Amida Buddha's deep wishes by hearing and reciting Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. どうもありがとうございました。では合唱いたします。Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda So now at this moment, Rev Turner is give you an English Dharma message. Thank you.
So yes, I get to speak in English. I wanted to talk about a lot of the things that Reverend Wondra touched on. Tonight's a big night for resolutions, right? And that's kind of like comes from the word to be resolute. So I read that most resolutions, they fail. 90% of them fail within the first month. So the success rate is really bad for Americans making resolutions. The one I'm really was successful on is I was drinking about, at least 40 ounces of Diet Coke a day. And it was bad for my teeth. It's bad for your stomach. And so one year I made a resolution to just not drink any more Diet Coke. And that one succeeded. It's pretty simple. Just don't drink it. That's it. That's all you have to do. But the other one that's a lot harder would be one like, I'm going to lose weight. Like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. That is not very successful because it's this goal, a very specific goal in the future, but there's no path. Like, there's no execution. Like, how are you going to do that? You're like, I don't really understand how to lose weight, right? I've got to eat different foods, or I need to cut down, or I just didn't have a good strategy. So those are the ones I think are in the 90% category of failure. Another way to go is to have a wish that's grand, a very grand wish. And when you do that, you're kind of forced to focus on process, as Sensei was talking about. So, rather than trying to get rid of something or achieve something, you could make a wish that changes the way you see the world, right? The orientation of your life changes when you make a wish. And so a wish, I think, is a lot different than a resolution. And this is kind of there's a lot of wishes and vows in Buddhism. They're all over the place. And this comes from ancient Indian spiritual, religious context. So as a new person to Buddhism, I always like to find things in India that give me context to appreciate Buddhism. And so I've noticed this. I'm not a Indian Buddhist scholar, but I've noticed, especially on the internet, whenever anything's older than Buddhism, they always say it's from yoga. So there's this this cultural foundation of spirituality in India, and out of that comes yoga and Hinduism and Buddhism, but they all share this kind of cultural understanding. And one of those things is a deep and profound wish or aspiration, or stating an intention is very important. If you state an intention, it changes your orientation and the way you look at the world. So I've been waiting to give this talk since last New Year's, because my wife Linda is a yogini. She teaches yoga, and she got something on Instagram called a Culpa, and it had something to do with New Year's. And I know a little bit of Sanskrit, I know a little bit of Japanese, and that can be very dangerous. So the first thing I thought this meant is san, right, is ichi ni san. So a lot of people new to Japanese Buddhism, every time they hear the word san, we immediately think it means 3. And, I was way off base because this is not a Japanese word, it's an Indian word. So I figured it meant 3 of something. And a kalpa is an eon, or a very long time. So I thought maybe it meant 3 really long times, like a long time times 3. But it didn't mean that. San does not always mean 3. We chant the Sambutsuge, and this san doesn't mean 3. I heard a service the other day on the internet where somebody said they were going to chant the 3 Buddhist gatha, or the 3 praises of the Buddha. And they were talking about the Sambutsuge. And like Sensei was saying, there's a lot of kanji characters that are pronounced san. So that's what's confusing. So there's lots of characters that are pronounced san. And then the thing that made me stop learning Japanese is when I learned that every kanji character had 2 pronunciations, the Chinese one and the Japanese one. And when I heard that, I was like, I'm out. That means 2 times as hard. It was already this hard, and then they doubled it. And I told Linda, we're done. There's just no hope. I could barely learn 1 word for a kanji, not 2. So I went to our service book, and the first character is there. That's not san. That's not 3 horizontal lines. It means to praise. And then the next character is for butsu, or Buddha. And ge is a poem or a chant. So the Sambutsuge is praising the Buddha. It's a chant in which we praise the Buddha. There's no 3 in there. So I went on the internet and I looked around, and I found that Sankalpa is emphasized in the yogic tradition during the new year because it's a Sanskrit term in yogic philosophy that refers to a heartfelt desire, a solemn vow, an intention, or a resolve to do something. It is similar to the English concept of a resolution, except that it comes from even deeper within and tends to be more of an affirmation. So, it's not the same as saying, I'm not going to drink Diet Coke anymore, right? That's a resolution. It's not a sankalpa. It's not a vow. So I Googled some more, and there's Wikipedia, and there's also Yogapedia. So Yogapedia explained that a sankalpa, unlike a goal, which is a personal need to accomplish something, the concept of sankalpa turns inward to connect with one's highest intention of the heart. A goal can be thought of as an individual's will, while the sankalpa is a universal will. A sankalpa is a positive declaration or affirmation, such as, peace is my true nature, rather than an ego-driven, I want peace in my life. So it's one's most basic desire. It's the most innermost desire, and it almost represents what it means to be human. And so to get in touch with that is a sankalpa. And then it said, the sankalpa is most resonant during yoga nidra, a state of very deep relaxation. It is believed that when the mind is relaxed, the sankalpa can be written onto the subconscious. It may also be repeated in the morning, before meditation, or at the beginning of any yoga asana practice. So, this sounds a little bit like Namo Amida Butsu. It's a statement of gratitude, of seeing oneness, of being profoundly connected to reality itself. And so that's how we say Namo Amida Butsu. So, you can kind of see there's a lot of overlap. There's kind of a lot of motivation for this need to have phrases that state a deep intention or wish. During seated meditation, there is a sankalpa mudra. So I really like mudras. I'm very visual. Mudras are hand gestures that represent practice. And when I was taking Japanese, there was a theory of language learning called total physical response. So I know Hidali and Migi, one means left and one means right, but I'm not going to guess which one right now. But the teacher would say Migi, and we would say Migi, and then we jump to the right. Is that right? Okay, good. Correct. Not right. And then she'd say Hidali, and we'd jump. Like football. They used to do this in football with a football. So, you hear it, and you say it, and then you act it out with your body. And supposedly that ingrains it into your memory. So these mudra hand gestures are done throughout yoga, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And Amida Buddha is doing a mudra with the hand out and the kind of the okay sign up. When you put your hands together in meditation, that's a mudra. Doing gasho is a mudra. These are all symbolic gestures that represent a practice. And so there's a mudra for the sankalpa that connects the right and left sides of the brain so the mind, spirit, and body can work cooperatively to bring change. In this mudra, the left hand rests palm up on the right thigh, and the right hand covers the left with the palm facing down. The practitioner's personal sankalpa is then repeated. So you're kind of twisting, right? You have your left hand on your right leg, so you're kind of representing oneness with your body. So here's an example of that mudra hand gesture for the sankalpa. And this is one of hundreds of mudras. I have a really neat book at home that has several hundred mudras in it. And if you want to look up kanji, you know how in English the letters are in order? And whoever did that made it easy for us to look up words in the dictionary, right? Like if you're a math person, if the letters were just helter-skelter, we couldn't look them up in a book. In kanji, you can look at the little pictures within the kanji, or you can count the characters, and so they're ordered in that sense. But mudras are really hard to look up because it's just fingers and hands, and they don't seem to have any sorting mechanism. So it's very hard to look these things up in a book. But I like to look them up. I like to read about them. And I wanted to mention that one of the most important aspirations or wishes in Buddhism is to have compassion, to live out your life with wisdom, to see oneness throughout your life. And the characters they use for compassion in Buddhism, it's a compound. It's the characters ji and he. They take two characters and they glue them together. They do this a lot too in Chinese. They're compounds. And what's interesting about it is ji is the character for metta. You heard of Metta World Peace, right? Ron Artest. Did you watch the Malice in the Palace on Netflix? It just came out. They had a riot in Detroit when Indianapolis Pacers are playing the Detroit Pistons. After that disaster, Ron Artest changed his name to Metta World Peace, and he actually changed his life. He's a peaceful, loving, and calm person because of this. He took on this sankalpa and renamed himself. So metta, the metta side of compassion is friendliness or to be a friend. In English, it's often translated as loving kindness. And then the he part is kind of sadness for other people's suffering, feeling the need to take in someone's suffering, to try to remove the suffering from others. So it has this double meaning. So this is the loving kindness metta meditation that's in our Surface book. It's from Palo Alto. And I was asked to go to the Anaheim City Hall or City Council meeting, and I think the prayer before is called the benediction. I'm not sure, but I had to do a benediction, and I chose this. And I could tell the audience was with me until the last two lines. I lost them on the last two lines, but I was so proud of Buddhism. So the first sankalpa is, may all beings be happy and well. And this is meant literally. all beings. And then it gets easier. May I be happy and well. That's easy to understand. May my family be happy and well. That's easy to understand. May my teachers be happy and well. May my friends be happy and well. May strangers be happy and well. And then the last one that I could tell I lost the audience was, may my enemies be happy and well. Because, if strangers are happy and well, and my enemies are happy and well, there'll be a lot less conflict and a lot less suffering in the world. So it's the wish that all beings can be happy and well. And so this is a grand sankalpa. It's a grand wish. And then I think you try to live this out in your life, right? Like every stranger, smile. Every stranger has respect and dignity. Every life is important. You just change your orientation. And then it closes with, may all beings be happy and well. Everybody has to be happy and well. And then I wanted to go over our mudra. So if you go to a yoga class, almost like Sensei said, the onyomi and the kunyomi, there's kind of the Indian name of it, and then there's kind of the Chinese, Japanese, Buddhist name of it. So if you go to a yoga class, they'll ask you to do the Anjali Mudra or the Namaskar. It has two names, either Anjali or Namaskar. But in our tradition, it's called Gasho, which means literally two Chinese characters that mean put your palms together. And so it represents the union of opposites. There's no more left or right. There's just oneness. So, the left hand tends to represent everyday life of suffering, and the right hand represents a life of awakening or oneness. And they're really the same reality. So we put our hands together in oneness, and you can live your life this way, or you can live your life this way. It's only one reality. It's how we see it. It's just how we see it. And I think by making a wish to see it in terms of awakening or insight or wisdom or compassion, that reality is manifested, right? You speak it into existence, as often has been said. So I wanted to close with this image. I got this at a conference. I think a junior YBA person spoke, and I was able to track this down on the internet. I thought this was a really good example of gasho, of putting your hands together. There's only one reality, but on the left is samsara, the side of suffering. So this is the way life looks if you're oriented one way. And on the right, nirvana, this is the way life looks if you're oriented the other way. And this happens by having a deep, profound wish or desire to see everyone as equal, and everyone should receive dignity and happiness in their life. And we begin to act this out. I think this is how the sankalpa works. It's not a matter of willpower. It's awakening a deep desire that reframes and reorients your life. It changes the foundation of your opinions and your judgments, and it has a profound effect, almost without making any effort, right? Almost without trying. You begin to act differently and see things differently as you go through your life. And so this is what I try to remember on New Year's. I still would like to lose 10 pounds, but this is much more important, right? Like Sensei said, 2021 was rough. We have a chance to start anew for 2022, and this is the way to do that. To stop for tonight, ring the bell, not only removing things, but also embracing things, new orientations, and carrying them forward into the new year. And I think if you do that with sincerity, you'll have a much better success ratio than 10% in the first month. You just have to keep practicing on the Buddhist path. So if you go, please join me in Gasho. Namo Amidabuts, Namo Amidabuts, Naman Dabuts, Naman Dabuts, Naman Dabuts, Naman Dabuts. So thank you very much. So this concludes our service, but we do get to ring the bell next. So if you haven't done Oshoko yet, we have 3 burners lit, single file, spread out, go to the 3 different burners. Then we're going to go by family. You can cluster by family. They call this the Disneyland Method. I didn't know Disneyland did this, but if you're with your family, you can go in a group, but try to keep some social distancing. We're going to go out that door and turn right, and there's going to be a hand sanitizer station, so sanitize your hands. Then you get to go up behind where the ministers sit. You get to see our secret. This is our secret room. You can go up there, and we're going to give you the mallet, and there's a step ladder or a step stool for anybody that needs a little height, and you ring the bell once. You can ring it, you don't have to ring it that hard. It's really loud, and we don't want to damage the bell. We don't want to break the mallet. And then you hand that to the next person in line, and then we're going to go back out this way down the stairs. There's another hand sanitizer, and then we're going to go out through the door into the parking lot. Okay. Oh, and wait for Nancy Hara to kind of release each row front to back. Okay, thank you very much.
Namanda, 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 Namanda.